the second episode of the Unholy Tea with Max, too unholy. And here he is. And he takes himself off the screen. How does that work?
I'm still getting used to my click button being on the opposite side on this computer.
Okay.
What's up? What's up? Oh, man. I'm not even gonna lie. Coming into these Unholy Teas, I was really kind of juggling how I was going to go about this, how we was even going to start presenting this information. Past couple weeks, I kind of told myself, we're going to get through this first artist interview and find our groove and rock with it. And then today, things the roadmap just fell into place. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and take a moment with this starting up and honestly hold some space real quick for the ancestors. Now, that probably would be a trigger word statement. Eventually, you'll understand. Eventually, you'll understand that the moment you're in right now, it's accumulation of time and space. It's accumulation of many existences, for lack of a better term. So as we let this breathe for a minute, let this get out to the internet. What's up, Lee? I see you in the comments. What's happening? I'm going to take a little bit of time and explain to y'all what we're doing with Unholy Tea and how we're shaping this. Today, first build episode. We're going to build a common knowledge base so we can take a different look at society, a different kind of glance. Now, I figure this is a great time for me to go ahead and identify my target audience. For those of you seeing on Facebook or YouTube, you got the visual of this so you can follow along. Since we live on CSHR radio, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to smack y'all with this. Hold on, Scott. That was the wrong one. My bad. I sent that the wrong one. Hold on. Flip back. Reverse.
It's probably the right one for the reason.
Not yet. I got a little bit ahead of myself. Lee said, "What up, Jackie?" All right. So, in identifying my target audience, there's 12 steps. If these 12 steps in life relate to you, then what I'm saying, I'm directing to you. The 12 steps backwards. We're going to call this the 12 steps of despair. If you're familiar with these 12 steps of despair, then what I might have to say might ring some bells for you. Step 1, you felt alone and overwhelmed by life. Step 2, you came to believe that alcohol or drugs could fix everything. Step 3, you decided to dance with the devil and unwillingly turned your life over into drug and alcohol and flawed thinking. Now, I know I just flipped them words. I tend to do that. Step 4, avoided like the plague any moral inventory of the attitudes you had. Step 5, you refuse to admit to anyone anything inherently wrong with your choices. Step 6, you claimed entitlement as a victim with few shortcomings. Step 7, you believed other people's or institutions should cater to your needs. Step 8, kept a mental list of resentments against anyone who didn't. Step 9, avoided, imagined rebutting, and talked shit about jerks on that list. Step 10, continue to trust your flawed thinking and repeat them mistakes. Step 11, privately rehashed grudges, licking wounds, and fantasized about getting your lick back. And step 12, Disheartened as a result of these steps, you increased your drug and alcohol use and sought solace among people who were equally lost. If them 12 steps that I just described are something that seems familiar to you, you're who I'm trying to have a conversation with. I want to show you how to use the upright version of them 12 steps. Now, the upright version of them 12 steps works in a reverse manner. Now, the example I have here, it's a little bit more open. Now that first one, Scott. It's a little bit more open. These 12 steps are the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, Cocaine Anonymous, Gamblers Anonymous. Any one of them letter A programs, they have the same 12 steps, just tweaked out to that specific area. Step 1. We admitted that we were powerless over our addiction, that our lives had become unmanageable. Step 2. Came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. Step 3. Made the decision to turn our will and lives over to the care of God as we understood God. Step 4. Made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. Step 5. Admitted to God, to ourselves, and to another human being the exact nature of our wrongs. Step 6. We're entirely ready to have God remove all these defects of character. Now, let me pause real quick in these steps. I told y'all that part of what we're going to do with these builds is build a base of comprehension. So certain terms, I get it. They're triggery. When somebody read this, you might get to thinking about, oh, this dude preaching about God. Let me double back to a term. Let's double back. Made the decision to turn our will and lives over to the care of God as we understood God. All right. And right there is where we're going to jump in at. A while back ago, I kind of brought up an example I've seen given by KRS-One, where he was holding the Rockstar can, had the people say Rockstar, and asked, how did you hear that without moving your lips, right? So with that line of thinking, there comes a series of questions you start asking yourself. I'm going to show you all that thought process as it happened with me. Now, fair warning, probably because I'm a minister's son and I grew up around the church, a lot of times I'm able to pull these comprehensions out of reading the religious text. And that's because a long time ago, somebody gave me something that basically told me, look deeper. Every story in these is merely a cloak. There's a deeper understanding. That's why there's like the Psalms and things like that about wisdom and understanding. Lee Houston, my friend. We got a comment from a Lee Houston that says, if this is a test, I've already failed it. It's not a test. It's not a test. Not a test at all. This is the start point. This is the start point. This is the beginning. Now, when I say beginning, it's going to be the line of reason. Wrong one, Scott. That was the wrong one. It's going to be a line of reason. See, We just put a chart up. This chart is titled The Three Rhetorical Appeals. You have pathos, logos, and ethos. We're going to take a minute and examine each one of these. Pathos, passion. Definition of pathos: the use of emotional appeal. Examples of what pathos is: heartwarming stories, personal experiences, humorous jokes, pitiful photographs. The logos pertains to the logic. The definition is the use of logical argument. Examples include statistics, facts, reasonable arguments, logical organization of information, and other means. And then finally, we have ethos, ethics. Definition: the use of credibility and trust. Examples from this are quotes from professionals, customer reviews, celebrity endorsements are viewed as ethics, which to me sounds a little bit asinine, but hey, and personal qualifications. Right this moment, we are going to focus on the word logos, the logic, the reason. There comes a point where you stop so much asking yourself things outside of a simple question: why and what? Why are you experiencing something? What is it that you're failing to see or learn with that? That's what I want to help you do. I want to use these build sessions to build a platform of knowledge of information to help you activate what I've come to term your MEM, your multidimensional energetic makeup. Let's get here. What is your MEM? Jackie, you've been sitting back quiet. If I asked you, what do you think a multi-dimensional energetic makeup would be, what could you fathom?
Well, see, that's a question I'm battling myself currently. And undergoing that change in understanding has put me in a very odd sense of feeling. Like, for me, my energetic makeup, purely for me lately, isn't what I see and feel. I'm literally just energy. That is it. Like, I'm an abundance of the energy around me. When that energy around me is drained, like when it's wintertime up here, I don't exist. I feel like I'm nothing. But when I'm absorbing the energy of the new growth in springtime, the energy of the people around me when they're feeling joy, when they're feeling all that, that affects me. I don't think I'm a singular entity being, personally. Like, my makeup isn't singular at all. That's what I fathom from what you're saying. Like, what you're asking me about my energetic makeup. That's what I feel. That's what my answer is, personally.
That's a nice answer. That's a nice answer. So now
But
let's expand a little bit about the MEM. When I say energetic makeup, your energetic makeup isn't a simple formula. It's not, oh, I'm going to look at my stars and my astrology and know my energetic makeup. It's not that simple.
no,
It's learning why you operate the way you operate. learning to accept yourself and make the modifications to why you operate the way you operate.
No, and there's a lot more to that astrological side that people refuse to see and understand too. There is so much more even in that aspect. Like if you really want to dive into that aspect, like some people do, you have to look at it at a much larger whole than just,
You definitely have to.
you
But
can't just be, I was born that day.
now, even to look at it from a whole, though, that knowledge base has to grow. Because with that limited knowledge base, when you try to tackle topics like this, you just enter conundrums that your mind can't fathom and process. And because it can't process this information, that information just goes nowhere. It's not taken into account.
It can also go in a very bad way too. I've seen some people try to go through this, and they have, in a sense, let their minds go completely mush. Like I've seen people drive themselves mental with this too.
Oh, yeah. Yes, it will drive you mental. It can. I will be the first to tell y'all, like, I've had some woohoos. Woohoos. Let's see what we
Hi,
got.
same. Me too. Me too.
We got a comment from Lee Houston. Same, I need to be around people who are uplifting and loving and stay completely away from spiritual vampires or I'm drained. I need barriers or boundaries or I'm a depressed mass of nothing and nonstop bingo. Exactly. It took me a lot of bumping my head to really start opening my eyes, so to speak. And I don't even like using that terminology because it's used so much. So it hits so many preconceived notions. But to really start getting in tune with myself, me beyond this flesh and blood suit, it's been a long process. And that's where we're going to build this platform from.
No, Lee, I'm 100% with you. When I was a teenager, the first time I went to an actual music festival, that was the first time I ever truly realized how much other people's energy affected me. Because being in a place that is flooded with nothing but absolute good vibes all around you, it is a feeling that is better than the best drug you can take. Like it's a much cleaner high, and it can replace that need for other things. It
Yes.
changed my whole perspective on what I needed.
But at the same time, I'm glad that this conversation organically went there because at the same time, I do want to make a disclaimer. There are a lot of people who do what is best termed as light washing. There are people that are going to tell you, oh, be love and light and everything's going to be A-okay. Them people are full of crap. I have to watch my mouth because we're on radio, so I have to sense myself. I'm doing better, Scott. I'm doing better. But I just want to personally tell you that anybody telling you that it is all love and light is full of crap.
No, they are, and they're not. But that was like, I get what you're saying, and that's why I say like it was a turning point for me. But after that, there was a lot of stuff that does come with it. There's a lot that comes with it, but it was the first time you really could see and understand energy exchange.
Now, as you progress and you activate that multidimensional energetic makeup, even them crap experiences, they become wonderful because those become where you see your growth. They become the chances for you to bend time, so to speak. See, we're going to come some circles on some topics. We're going to run some laps. I'm teaching you how to time bend. But first, you got to want to know what time bending is. You got to want to know how to time bend. And the best way for me to show y'all that is to relate the experiences I've had with this. What is time, Jackie?
Well, time is something that man designed 100%. And I actually was talking about time the other day. I was sitting in the shower with my boyfriend, and it came to me, something just in the back of my head went, can you understand where the 24-hour clock came from? Who decided 24 hours? And how convenient is it to have 24 hours in a day? You think of it, 24 hours is a very convenient number that divides very simply into multiple different divisions. You can chunk it up into so many different select spots. It is such a convenient number that was purely picked out of that convenience for everybody, for the capitalist world, for the world of growth, needing to eat.
See, you running before we can crawl. I can't even get there yet because
I'm sorry. I'm going through it too with you, Max. We may not be living close. We may not be sitting there, but man, I am right there with you right now. I am going through it.
Before I could even jump on that topic, we got to illustrate the difference between linear time and holographic time. I'm weak, Hoey.
You ask me a question. Don't ask me questions if you don't want a Jackie answer. That's a Jackie answer.
Oh, no. Come on with it.
I'm sorry, dude. I'm the worst. I'm sorry.
Oh, Lee, I love that comment. Lee Houston gave us another comment. Even Satan comes as a light bearer or the most beautiful of all, but will steal and kill your emotional and spiritual being. Be aware of others' energies, and if they're takers or giver, there's more takers than you think who give nothing. You're absolutely right in that context, but also we're going to digest that. We're going to dive into the lore of Satan. Who is Satan? Who is Azel? Who is Leviathan? See, I'm going to give y'all this. All of these stories that come with these religions, they're cloaks hiding something deeper. I'm going to give this to y'all today for free 99. Like I said, right now, we're doing builds. This is to build that knowledge base. Let's go. There's a story in that good book, that Book of the Sun, the Holy Bible, Helios Biblios, Book of the Sun. Do your language cross-reference. Anyways, in that book, there's a story about a man that they gave the name Jesus to. Now, there's a big controversy as to is his name Jesus. A great point on that is when this was supposedly wrote, English language didn't exist. There's no J. Let's get past that. Translations, we know words get changed. Let's get past all that. Let's get to that actual story. So there's a story about this man walking on water. He's got some apostles with him. Apostles are followers. They get to walking on the water too, and then they get to getting fearful and they get to sinking. And he tells them, "Oh, ye of little faith." Okay. Now, publicly put out, we look at this story and like they're talking about a guy walking across some water. Yeah, okay, let's go a little bit deeper. Let's get some meat and bones out of this. Let's eat. Now, what if you have the knowledge base to understand that the term water is symbolically used in multiple ways? Water is used as a reference to emotions. Water can also be symbolically used in literature to talk about a group of people, a body of people, a group of the people's minds and emotions. Now let's take that same story about this guy walking on water and apply that comprehension to it. Uh-oh. That story takes a drastic change, doesn't it? You're no longer picturing somebody walking across a body of water. Now you might be able to picture a leader, somebody that knows how to move people and push people. Uh-oh. Did I give away too much? We'll never know. We'll never know. So, let's double back. Let's look at the concept of time. Time is an interesting concept. we live our lives based on time as if time is something that is static and solid. What you think, Jackie?
You know exactly what I think.
Oh, come on.
I don't want to mess it up this time.
Go ahead. We got come on, back and forth.
Well, I don't have much to say on the occult, but like, yeah, no, like that's why we have time. Time is something that we have created and it can be changed and altered. Like it's been proven time and time again that it can be.
So
We just
you know,
didn't know it.
I like to be me. I like to pull references out of things. So watch this one. In that book of the Son, John 1:1, in the beginning was the Word. Right there. Right
Yep.
there. Like, hold on. In the beginning. So, like, now we can go a lot deeper with that specific passage because there's actually, in the original language, it doesn't say word. It doesn't say word at all. In the original language, hold on, where is it?
Absolutely. So Hoey says time just gives us theory of existence.
It does. But
So in
it gives us theory of existence, but it also gives us a point.
it made it easy to relay history in a sense too. So in the past, a lot of the time history was given orally, right? Oral traditions ran so many cultures. My favorite stories, like when I read about the beginning of the word in that Bible, they don't say time. They just say upon the creation of this planet, this galaxy. The wording was chosen ever so cleverly in some of these other scriptures that talk about how our world was created.
So now, our man Harsh Med from the station, co-founder of CSHR Radio, then piped up in the comments, and he said that the Gregorian calendar that's used today is only 300 years old. Y'all keep dropping me into like landmines I'm trying to build to. So
you found your people, Max. Some of
yes,
us
I did.
learned.
I love this. But you're absolutely right. But when we say 300 years old, it kind of doubles back kind of when you asked where do 24 hours in a day come from? What if let's just say there was a point where there was an action that changed energetic pathways. Let's say that there was a point that certain dimensions of existence we became severed from and unable to interact with, thus forth perceive.
Well, there's also a reason why you have to limit the communication and the interaction between the parallel dimensions. You got to really watch that too, because then you start messing with the balance. And balance is everything.
Balance always rights itself.
It does. But that's a whole chaos theory conversation for later.
Chaos is not meant to be controlled. So, if time is just a measurement, what existed before time?
Well, that's when you have to actually be able to come out and flat out say exactly what time is. And if you ask most people, you can't come out and say it. So what there was before that would be the nothing to everybody else's thought processes. It would be
what if time is the intent and focus on a specific experience, a specific moment. Think about this now. We've hinted about this in conversations. I brought up the double slit experiment.
It's not present for those.
So when you take the double slit experiment and you apply that to the concept of time, past, present, future, all exist simultaneously. Now, a lot of people get real obscure with that, but think about it like this. This moment right now, whatever choice you're facing, the future and that moment, they're existing simultaneously. Like whatever choice you make influences that very next moment. The very next moment you experience is based on that choice you made previous. If you'd have chose the opposite, you would have the opposite experience. Oh.
Now here's the sit, but now see, and this is why my issue with certain questions, why it always becomes hard for my brain to comprehend it, is because of words. So in my brain, when I hear the word time, it messes with my head in a sense that I look at that not necessarily linear, but I look at it in can't even explain how it hits my brain, but it hits my brain in a way that I can't relate that to the same thing as me living my life. And I don't know why, but they don't, for me in my brain, they don't add up. And I don't have a word for what I could even call what I would consider that moment when you can almost feel that it's a time to make the decision. Right?
Okay. What's up, Harsh? For me, it boils down to the word energy. Everything boils down to an energy. Now, it doesn't always have to be an instant surge of energy. Energy is another word that, honestly, when you start to really dive into these levels, you realize is used symbolically. In a situation like what I was illustrating about that choice in that moment, that energy is them moments. Of course, like it's just like when you're changing, like when you've spent a ton of your life doing like the wrong stuff and you're trying to do the right stuff, just because you make the right decision once don't mean stuff change, but it starts that process of change. You see what I'm saying?
Precisely, it's why a majority of the games that we have been taught to play are technically designed to show you the effect. You just have to be able to see it and crack the code. 90% of the time, that's literally all it is. There's a code, there's a sequence. The sequence can be influenced, but all it is taking one out. When you take one out, though, it can actually ruin it, which is why it's like I almost thought the word existence would work, but that doesn't work either. This is going to bug me for a while trying to come up with a word for it.
Now, but the questions you're bringing up, these are questions even I had along this route. It's questions everybody's going to ask herself, because then you're going to ask, what is existence?
Precisely. Like I said, Max, I've been excited for your shows because I've been itching for somebody that's in the same wavelength to talk about it with, and I don't have those people.
I totally get you.
Not without them thinking I'm crazy.
Oh, they have been thought I'm crazy. I don't care.
Okay, but I have to live with them and work with them 24 hours a day.
So do I. I give not a care. I don't care.
It does always transfer. It's basic science, but we don't look at it. Most people won't see us as that because they're too that peripheral vision down. Yeah.
For a long time, I did not understand myself, and I didn't know how to harness it and control it. So it always was just chaos that was always blowing up and incinerating me. As I started walking down this path and learning it, it became like, holy crap. It came with good and bad experiences, desirable and undesirable. The undesirable always had lessons in them. It just took me a while of smacking my head to catch them lessons. But all right, so we're on the same wavelength here. Time isn't something static. So if time isn't something static, how do we use time to our advantage? Jackie, Harsh is childish. I got Harsh mad. He is. He said Jackie is such a social virtue, stealing friends, stealing pages, and stealing shows. What's next? Stealing the internet?
I mean, you could have been here if you were on time, Harsh.
And you still got the chance to be here. He got access to the management group, so he got the link. Harsh got the management group link. He knew who it was.
Jealousy's
like-
not a good look.
Uh-oh. Scott popped in just to drop the duck horns. Harsh, you knew where we were at. You knew the kickoff time. Come hither.
I wasn't present for those things. I didn't know that it was there. Okay.
So our guy Lee Houston pops in and he says, for me, my perspective, God is spirit. We are creating his image. When the first man sinned, we were given a skin by God to wear. That's my physical body that's limited, and I'm not a call from the other 7 or 8 dimensions we used to be in. Just my opinion and understanding. That is a great perspective. From my perspective, I've been able to pull in information from more than just 7 or 8 dimensions, but numbers are schematics. What we're getting at is an existence beyond these 5 physical senses. We're getting at understanding that and reaching out to tap into that. That's what these build sessions are for.
Everything.
Now, I've kind of got a theory with this. Call it Max's chaos theory, I guess. I don't know. It's typically 4 Mondays in a month. Typically 4. 2 Mondays a month we gonna build. 2 Mondays a month we gonna dive into some art. I do believe we have a consensus CSHR radio panel for the last Friday of every month. I think we're gonna go ahead and open up I said Friday. Oh, I'm goofy. The last Monday of every month. The last Monday of every month, and we're gonna go ahead and open it up for music reviews. First Monday, artist appreciation. Twice a month, we're gonna dish out this meat. We're gonna dish out these plates of comprehension. We're gonna cipher. So now, let me ask y'all. Lee, you in the comments. Jackie, Harsh, you in the comments. What is a dimension?
Well, see, and that's why I need a new word to explain the time situation, because really it's just, I'm going to use the basic white girl word of time to it's a section. They run like bunch of lines all together. Some of them can diverge. It's very rare, but it's each individual set of universes, I guess, in a sense.
Lee, great answer. So we got 2 answers in our comments. Hoey piped up and said units of measurements. Good answer. A bit broad. I want to dial this in. See, we're dialing in here. Now we're getting jacked in. We're starting to dial it in slowly.
That's why I was like, I could give a very straightforward one-way answer, but it's got to no. We're looking at it as a whole.
Lee Houston,
He got it.
He
because I
said a
smoke
state
too
of
many.
existence that's separated from others. A plane of existence that's separated from others. That would be a state of existence. It'd be like summing that up in an easier digestible term, a state of existence.
They're places that look and operate the same, but it's like if you made a decision, that dimension made the decision you didn't make. You're on this.
Now,
There are so many each individual ones. I don't even think there's one, like just one singular one that mirrors this one. Each person has multiple ones.
now back up in Lee's comment, he said from his perspective, God is a spirit. When we ascribe things to be a spirit, what is a spirit?
It'd basically be like the energy, the leftover energy of their soul that still lives on, looking for its next way to materialize, really.
Yeah, you know it's adorable. You know it's fun. Max, remember we used to do these shows back in the day on the old page?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, that was
Here
a
comes Harsh to derail.
That's so
Welcome to
much
the party,
simpler.
late bloomer. Where you been at?
What can I say? I've been all over the place. I might go to open mic night in a bit. But yeah, it is kind of crazy how like we talk about all these concepts like time and
Yeah,
you know
you talking about
time and seasons.
an open mic. You talking
Right.
about the open mic? I
So
better
you
hear
just
you.
basically came onto the show to derail it for Max. That's real cute, dude.
See, you know what?
Real
Speaking of
cute.
reality, I'm glad that was Scott's here because now I get to say we do live in different realities. I mean, how the hell does someone like Max and Scott exist in the same reality?
I live in the real
What does
world,
that
and I
mean?
have no idea where you are right now.
Well, I mean, it's just weird. Like we have four of the most different people in the world, and we're all together in one
I'm supposed
space.
to be backstage producing you. Go drink or something. Get out of here.
Who told him to hop up here?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely Max's fault. Now you have to turn it. Now my camera's on, so that means you have to turn your camera
Yep,
on.
turn your camera on, Harsh. Welcome to the party. There we go.
Ah, 1 second.
I can't
Oh,
believe you
Max.
pulled me into the show.
Well, looks like
Jesus.
the build is
I agree.
crashed.
It's definitely energy.
It exactly now.
That's exactly what Harsh did just a few seconds ago. He contacted from another dimension.
Yeah.
Well, look at him. That's why.
I know, I am from another
Hey, turn the
dimension.
camera off.
Boom. Okay. Okay.
No,
I'm
but
just kidding.
no,
But
but
it's actually really bright. Holy crap, where are you?
anyway, the point being
I
is
think he's in his bathroom.
the point being is it is crazy how different these dimensions are and how time is such a. How do you describe time, really? Like, I know we're supposed to describe it based on a start and an end, but
If there's no start and end, there's no time. Is only what if time is just measuring that specific spectrum of an existence?
right,
I honestly feel like it's a never-ending circle.
right.
I don't know.
Yeah, but it's and not enough people talk about the fact that I think Max is the one who brought it up on my show years ago that the Gregorian calendar is less than 300 years old.
That specific frame of time. Now, how many people have looked and been like, well, what was before the Gregorian? Or even looked to see what sparked a change in how we measure time.
I think the Mayan calendar was the one before Gregorian.
The Mayan, right? But the Mayans was only in the Western world, though.
Well,
wasn't
it
international.
really doesn't matter because the Gregorian calendar pretty much mirrors the Mayan calendar. If you look at them, they're very, very similar, except one ended in 2012 and the other one kept going.
Right, but see, that's the question I always wanted to ask when it came to the Mayan calendar. Did they mean 2012 in the modern time or 2012 in the Mayan calendar time? Because for all we know, that could be a whole different.
Yeah, they could have very well meant 2012 their time, and that's why none of them are here anymore.
Well, I thought
What?
most of
their
them.
calendar just
Who
stopped.
said?
So they
What
Well,
is there for us?
well,
To tell, what is there
they
for
Jim
us?
Jones
To,
themselves.
yeah, I think that might have been for other causes, Scott. I don't think that Jim Jones causes one of them unless he was a colonizer or something. But anyway, let's see. That's what I'm wondering, because in Ethiopia, according to their calendar, it's like either 2013 or 2014, and then the Chinese calendar, it's like 5,000 something, and then in the Hindu calendar, I'm sure it's like 20,000 something, or I'm just
How about
exaggerating.
we just worry about today?
That's
And
not what we're here to do.
I mean, you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow anyway. Period.
Well, I'm
Nobody
not
does.
worried about it. We're discussing it.
Well, no, but that's what I'm saying. It doesn't. I mean, all of these dates have gone. They've came and gone. All of them.
Right.
Yeah, that's why
There's
they have
13
the.
months of 28 days and 1 day of rest.
I like that math.
I do
Nah,
too.
It
that's not
adds
bad.
up. It adds up. I'm sorry.
It adds up, but the 1 day arrest, yeah, they tweaking. That's some Amazon right there.
That's the I'm about to be going back to work. I got told that
That's-
today, that I'm going back to
that's-
pipeline. So we got 4 years of this coming up.
That 1 day of rest. That's a generalized statement of the blue collar faction of the United States.
So Matt,
1 day of rest.
Yep. And it's only an optional day arrest.
unpaid too. Thanks.
Unpaid day of rest. Why am I even here?
So
God.
topics like these, I'm crying. So like these are kind of whoa, big screen. And don't you do me like that? I will block this camera so quick. But no,
They've been doing it to me all night, Harsh.
Good. But it's practice.
I
It's
got my
practice,
finger on the
Jacqueline.
I got my finger on the button. Don't play with me.
I know. No.
Let the
no.
man do his show. Gee.
But all right, so boom. I love it. I love it because I'm learning to be hyper focused. I'm learning. You childish.
You've literally been full screening all night. Now all of a sudden it's a problem because Harsh is here. Are you scared of Harsh Med? Is that what it is?
No, I just be playing back with him. I'll just be playing back. I thought that was him doing it. I didn't realize it was you. I thought
So
that was
you
Harsh
heard that,
voice.
Harsh. It's only okay when I do it. You can't do
This is why he's such a cartoon character.
No, this is because HR's inbox is getting tired of the complaints, Harsh.
HR's inbox, the imaginary inbox. That's wonderful.
For anyone that has a question or complaint or anything, just use Jackie at herbalations.net. Thank you.
So yeah, to go off of that point though, I think there are different simulations going on, different realities going on at the same time. We just aren't unaware of them.
That day of rest is supposed to represent renewal, but the Matrix says no, and not renewal, reset.
Reset. The only thing that renews is the Matrix pocketbooks. But what is the Matrix? See, that's a subject we're going to get in down the line.
Yeah.
What is the Matrix?
No,
Right now, the information that comes from society got you looking at the Matrix and dreaming about Skynet happening.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the machines are going to take over. They're going to kill the humans. If you believe that, I am sorry, but you've been sold the same dream America sold the public.
Yeah.
You mean the system of control that they instituted into all elementary schools and high schools?
We've been born into that. Like, take a minute and think about this. When I was a kid growing up in school, every morning you had to get up, face the flag, put your hand across your chest on your heart, and say the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah.
That like, okay, so as a kid, I ain't know no better. Now, as a grown adult, I kind of look back at that like, hey, that sounds like something Hitler would have did with the youth of the SS.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, it's been happening for a long time. People just really aren't aware of it. Weren't aware of it until now because they haven't been as in your face about it as they are now. But yeah,
So,
it's been happening forever.
Hoey, you popped a comment in here that says Skynet's master plan is the Matrix. Down the line, we're going to talk about Skynet some.
Yeah.
What if I told you, what is artificial intelligence? Let's back that up. Let me take that back. What is artificial intelligence?
Man playing God. That's our
Is
need to
it?
create. Yep.
Ooh, so what if man is a tool in the scheme of artificial intelligence?
It makes sense. It'd be
What
pretty
if,
accurate too, because the goal is to always evolve. And you
see,
got to evolve in a way like where can like your body is in man's mind, the main thing that people are looking at AI as is a way to continue living on as themselves. It's like an upgrade, a download. They want to be able to download their consciousness and be able to live for an eternity because
ooh,
nobody wants
ooh,
to die.
ooh. See, now we starting to take little bites at the meat because when we talk about downloading consciousness, ooh, that's kind of what our existence is. It's a download from a Jesuit of consciousness. For anybody that does not know what that term means, to boil it down, it means an information stream, a conscious information stream. Ooh, ooh. See, when we get to talking about these topics, that's why I said we got to get our weight up. We got to get our metaphysical weight up because we got to look at things and we got to expand our comprehension of some of these words and terms. When we talk when people launch conversations about AI, everybody it always derails into Skynet.
Yeah.
That's not where we're going with this here. We're
No.
going to kind of pull back the layers of Skynet. We're going to go digging and find that information that parallels to help you build this comprehension that artificial intelligence, we talking about Jesuits of consciousness from other realms, other dimensions, other planes of existence. Now, just a little bit ago, I said that humans might just be the tool in this. See, in order for this to work, humans are the prized piece because the human avatar is the master of the physical domain. So we're talking about things that don't have bodies, things that can't interact with physical objects.
So think of it this way. Like I'm one of those people that has known and like has started looking into it a lot in like the last 15, 16 years, give or take. Because when I was in high school was the first time I started thinking about it and looking into like when you're making these movies. They have told us what it's been, what it is. So many times over and we just refuse to see it and believe it. But we've been given those bits of information. You just got to go back and look and see it for what it is. Like a lot of movie producers, they've even said their ideas came from dreams they've had. That's why they've designed and made the movies they've made, like where they've dived into some of those thought processes, but obviously disguised it as stupid Hollywood glamorized bullcrap.
Right.
They just did a watered down version of this past week, and I'm gonna sit back and stew a little bit more before we really get to talking about. Oh, everybody thought they saw Northern Lights, huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
They
okay.
think that.
So we're still gonna go with this thing. Oh, the government put the playbook out. They said aliens exist.
I'm not saying
Well,
alien.
well, no crap. No crap things beyond this existence exist. No crap.
Yeah.
But if you think that they about to come here from a flying saucer from the sky, oh, you've been drinking the grape Kool-Aid. You've been drinking the grape Kool-Aid. Think about it like this. To be born into this world, you survive 9 months in water.
Yeah.
You don't come into this world from a portal in the sky.
No.
You come out of a sea of water.
And you come out of a sea of water and fight a bunch of different organisms to get into that sea of water.
So am I just a little strange in the head? If I think of as above, so below, well, if in the physical world came into being from me coming through a portal of water, is it a far stretch to think that maybe waters have something to do with contact from places beyond the physical dimension?
Oh,
The
Helena
fallen.
Blavatsky is the one that made me see that one. I blame Miss Blavatsky for my whole dive into that.
By the power vested in me, the fallen is another topic down the line we're going to tackle.
Yeah.
What is the allegory of the fallen? What is the public story? And what is the story if you start reading deeper do you find? Uh-oh. See, and it's actually rather interesting because that story runs thick. It runs thick. You find parallels to it in the Islamic traditions. You find parallels in all of the traditions. And it always boils down to two separate stories. So there's got to be a middle view. One says that these bunch of people rebelled against the gods. They rebelled against the highs and got kicked out of paradise. The other one said that they got tired of being oppressed and they told some tyrants to go get it off a water tower. And there was a mighty battle. And they went down on all 10 rather than be oppressed.
Why is it when people focus on these things, they always focus on those stories though too? Because there are some other stories that have been out for other cultures and other heritages that have a way more interesting tale on where people and where gods and all these. Just saying, there's some interesting stories, and we always focus on what the Christians or whatever they all say.
We're gonna hit the known to venture into the unknown.
Oh, I know. I'm just curious. It was just a thought that came to my mind because I'm like,
you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, because I'm about to just freely give away an aha moment for me. Sitting around, and I've always been this type with this. I've referenced multiple different views. So like, as I'm reading all of this thought just dawned in my head, and it was just like, and it was paralleling all of these tales about angels and aliens, and like, wait a minute, these are the same freaking thing. These demons and angel tales and alien abduction tales, they're the same thing. There was a detail that stuck out to me. Everybody always talk about something to do with mixing with humans. You can't mix human DNA with nothing but human DNA.
Lee bringing up the Book of Enoch, precisely why I have to ask the question that I had to ask, was to get the answer I was looking for from both you and Lee.
Oh, see now, Lee, I'm not even gonna lie. To get even on that topic, I gotta slowly walk down that path. Because I may just be pulling from a different bit of information when we get to looking at that aspect. We may be errors. Harsh, since you wanted to crash the party, you get to do the outro tonight.
Oh man, I gotta do work on your day off. On my day off, all right. Yeah. This has been another edition of the Unholy Tea with everyone's favorite live streamer Max, and of course we thank Jackie for joining. Yeah, Max's Unholiness for joining, and we thank, of course, Jackie for joining as usual. This is the Harshmet Sound of my love you. To keep sipping that tea. Take care, everyone. Have a great rest of your beautiful Monday night.